Hi Change Checkers, and welcome to our latest newsletter. Now in February we were feeding the love with Valentine's Day and 3 new UK coins.
Yeah, and there's one magical coin that I'm really excited to talk about.
Well, we're going to find out what that is shortly, so let's get into it. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Kate, and this is your Change Checker newsletter for February. Now the first coin from the 2025 annual set to be individually issued was this one, the Red Arrows 50p, and it celebrates 60 years since the Red Arrows' first public display in 1965.
Now actually I love watching the Red Arrows every time we go to an air show, and we've been lucky enough to go to a few. It's of course one of the most exciting displays, and this coin does capture it perfectly. It features 3 sleek and distinctive Hawk T1 jets, and of course those iconic smoke trails, so something really exciting on this coin. And this is actually the first time that the Reds have featured on a UK coin, so something very special there.
It is, yeah, and did you know it's actually pretty hard to become a Red Arrows pilot? You have to undergo so many rigorous tests, you have to have completed a tour on the front line, and you have to have at least 1,500 hours of fast jet flying under your belt, and that can take 10 to 12 years to acquire.
Such a long time. I don't think I'd be able to withstand an hour. I think I'd get sick up in the jets.
No,
they go so fast.
It's the G they call it, isn't it?
Yeah. Now we were actually lucky enough to get 150 of the Red Arrows 50p's signed by John Bond, Red One himself, so that was really exciting, and as I'm sure you guys can imagine, they sold out really quickly, in fact just a few hours. So do let us know in the comments if you were one of those lucky collectors to get your hands on one of those coins.
Yeah, definitely something special there. And you can find out more about the Red Arrows 50p by reading the blog, which is linked below.
Now on to our next release, and isn't this one actually your favourite coin of the month?
It is, yeah, I'm so excited about this one.
Oh, I can see why. Now this coin does feature Mary Poppins, and it's the first time that we've seen Mary Poppins on a UK 50p, issued over 90 years since the very first Mary Poppins book by P.L. Travers was published, and of course an illustration from that very book features on the design of this coin.
Yeah, really nice this one, I absolutely love it. And the illustrations for the book were actually created by Mary Shepherd all the way back in 1934, who was actually the daughter of E.H. Shepherd, who created illustrations for Winnie the Pooh and The Wind in the Willows.
Yeah, so we've already seen the Winnie the Pooh 50p's. Wouldn't it be cool if we got Wind in the Willows as well?
Oh yeah, that would be another iconic story,
yeah,
and with those illustrations as well.
Definitely. Now this is such a magical design, of course, on the Mary Poppins 50p. You can see her soaring over the rooftops of London. She's got her umbrella in one hand and her trusty carpet bag in the other.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah, really iconic, I think.
Now, Mary Poppins has been portrayed countless times in film, TV, theatre, and so on over the last 90 years, or over 90 years. And more recently, actually, she was played by Zizi Strallen in the West End production of Mary Poppins. Now, we were lucky enough to get 750 of the Mary Poppins 50p's signed by Zizi herself. And what a special thing to own.
Yeah, something very, very special for collectors to own. Now, as you can imagine, these have been super popular. In fact, I think by the time this video comes out, they might have all completely gone. So if you were one of the lucky ones to manage to get your hands on one of these coins, do let us know in the comments below.
And if you want to find out more about the Mary Poppins 50p, you can head to our blog. Now, the latest coin in the Royal Tudor Beast series was issued in February, and it featured the Greyhound of Richmond. Now, the Greyhound is one of 10 magnificent King's Beast sculptures that you'll pass on the moat bridge of Hampton Court Palace.
Yeah, so some really impressive statues there. I think if anyone has ever visited the palace, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, the Greyhound of Richmond actually represents loyalty and was a symbol strongly associated with the House of Lancaster. It was then later adopted by the Tudor family when, of course, Henry VIII's grandfather chose it as his heraldic supporter.
So it's got a good story as well. Now, this is one of many Tudor Beasts that have already been featured in this £5 series. We've had the Bull of Clarence, we've had the Seymour Unicorn.
Seymour Panther?
Yeah, the Panther as well, and the Queen's Panther.
Yeah.
So do head to our blog if you want to find out more about all of the coins in this series. But it was actually designed by sculptor David Lawrence, and it features the beast with its slim build and its prominent rib cage holding a jousting shield, and that shield actually bears the 3 lions of the England Passant Guard.
Yes, I think it's a very sort of heraldic, traditional sort of a design. So of course, perfect to be celebrated on a £5 coin.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you do own the ones in the series so far, of course, you're going to want to add this to your collection. You might also have owned the Queen's Beast series. So there are 10 £5 coins for the Queen's Beasts. Really nice to continue if you've had those coins, then having the Tudor Beasts as well.
Yeah, something really nice. So as I said, head to our blog to find out more about the whole series.
Now, the 15th of February actually marked 54 years since Decimal Day, all the way back in 1971. Of course, that was the day that Britain's coinage system officially went decimal, so a massive change. In fact, the biggest change to our UK's monetary system in over 1,000 years.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Now, before the change, Britain's coinage consisted of pounds, shillings, pence, farthings, crowns, halfpennies, and the list goes on. But decimalisation moved our coinage onto a system based on units of 10.
Yeah, so some of you guys might actually remember a time when you were using that older currency, but for many of us, of course, we are now used to our decimal system. So it's quite interesting to take a look back and see how our coinage has changed throughout the years.
Now, did you know the idea of decimalisation was actually first proposed by Sir John Bowring in 1847, but it wasn't until 119 years later that the change actually went ahead.
God, it's a long time in the planning, isn't it? Wow. Now, actually, since decimalisation, there have been so many great coins issued, and the 50p, of course, has become the most collected coin in the UK, and probably the best loved decimal denomination. But we would love to know which decimal coin is your favourite, so please do be sure to let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, definitely. And you can follow the link in the description to watch our video where we take a deep dive into decimalisation. Well, I know what my favourite thing about February has been, and it's obviously got to be that Mary Poppins 50p. What about you?
I knew it would be for you. Actually, for me, it's got to be the Red Arrows 50p. I love seeing their displays, as you know, and I was even lucky enough to meet John Bond myself when we were at Royal International Air Tattoo last year.
Oh, I remember, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And now don't forget, you can find out more about everything we've talked about today by clicking the links in the description box. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future videos from us.
You can listen to us on the go with the Change Checker podcast, which of course is available on all major streaming platforms.
Thanks so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time when we'll be reporting on the month of March.
Bye.